Hi everyone, how you doing today? I'm Brandon, I'm from Manta Network, and I'm going to be talking about building a privacy layer for Web3. So why privacy? This is one of the crucial questions we need to answer first. Why is privacy important? Why do we need to have privacy everywhere as part of the application? And how do we actually do it? So first, let's get some facts first, right? One cryptographic truth is that knowledge is power, right? You know a private key, you can sign a transaction. This is one of the basic fundamental parts of blockchain and cryptography, and one of the things that we can leverage to build these decentralized computers. And the thing that distinguishes all of us from each other is that we all have different secrets that we all hold, and that distinguishes us on-chain. But there are so many more applications than just signing transactions. And privacy is a requirement for most of them. So think about art, think about marketplace, think about social, right? All these different pieces have a public component, and a lot of people are working on building those, and this is part of the, this is the part of the standard infrastructure that people are always building, but all of them have a private component as well. Think about DAO payroll, right? You're building a DAO with lots of different members, and they have salaries because this is their employment, right? Salaries shouldn't be public, so you need to have a way of doing private payroll. So, and think about games as well, right? If you're building a game on chain, every player can't know every other player's state, right? Because this would reveal secrets of the game, and you would leak the state, right? Also, sometimes players have state that's hidden from themselves. Think about a card game like Magic the Gathering, right? If you play this on chain, players shouldn't know their entire deck, right? So this kind of stuff you need to have privacy for to actually build these things on chain. They just can't be built without privacy. And so what we really want to do is we want to have this paradigm shift where we take the notion of private keys and completely go into private users. Everything about the user should be private. It's the only way that we can achieve all these different applications and put them on chain. But it's not just that. We also need to think about the ecosystem. The ecosystem is really where we get the most power from. Developers are our most valuable resource. They're the people who actually build the real applications that build on our blockchains, and they bring the users. And right now, if you think about public blockchains like Ethereum and Polkadot, they have a lot of composability, but only on the public side, right? You can build contracts, contracts can call other contracts, and you can build dApps and layers above them. But because now we know that privacy is a fundamental part of all these applications, how do we build things that are private and composable at the same time? So this is where Manta comes in. This is the thing that we've been working on for over a year now, designing and taking from first principles, how do we build a system that's both composable and private, and composable with public state as well. So our Manta Pay protocol, which is our first protocol that we've been building, is focused on private payment. The fundamental core layer of any blockchain is payments. Almost every application, every transfer of information between users can be thought of as payments. So payments is really fundamental. And what we've done is we've made it so that it's interoperable with private UTXO and public account models. So from the beginning, we designed this on purpose to be composable. That's the only way that you can design these systems so they are robust against this kind of designing from composition. And so Manta Pay assets are natively composable with public ones. And what about the rest of our architecture? So we've spent all of our efforts to optimize this transfer protocol as much as possible, and it's in fact the fastest private transfer protocol on Earth. We've taken a lot of inspiration from the OGs at Zcash, and we've talked to a lot of people and learned a lot about cryptography and zero knowledge over the years. And we've built the fastest, for example, the fastest Poseidon hash implementation in Groth 16 achieves optimal performance from theory, right? And we have also a lot of focus on sharded storage for concurrency, because it's not just that composition between like building applications on composition, but also you need to make sure that when people are transacting, their transactions don't block other transactions. And one of the things that's really hard to do typically in privacy is to make sure that transactions are not interfering with each other, because if they're private, you shouldn't know that they're there. So we've focused on also optimizing a sharded storage design so that people can interact with the blockchain without interfering with each other. And we have also the transparent UTXO model, which is our way of interacting between public and private assets at the same time. And so what are we building next? What we're building next is we're taking this payment protocol and extending it upwards into an execution layer. The first way we do this is we make it compatible with the standards for fungible tokens and non-fungible tokens. So think ERC20, ERC721, ERC1155. Think pallet assets. Think all the different pallets that we have in Substrate that deal with fungible and non-fungible tokens, all supported by Manta Pay natively. And then on top of this, we can build an EVM and ZKP execution layer. Because now we have access to all these token standards, everybody who builds contracts with these standards can now build on top of Manta Pay. So you build your Uniswaps, your Aves, all of your DeFi products that use ERC20 as a fundamental layer can now use Manta Pay instead without any code change on the developer side and automatically access private payment. And then on top of this, all your familiar tools that you use in EVM, because it's completely EVM compatible, EVM equivalent, you can use all the standard tools that developers are familiar with, right? We want to make sure that because developers are the most valuable resource, we want them to be able to leverage the product immediately without having to learn a new language, learn new paradigms. They just use what they're already used to. But this is Polkadot, right? We actually can do even more. So there are so many different parachains, and all the parachains here today. And we think that XCM is really the most valuable part of Polkadot. It's great we can build all these different chains, but it's so important that we communicate across chains and build applications that live over the entire ecosystem. And so at Manta, we're really focused on making sure XCM works really well, and we're talking to a lot of different teams to make sure XCM works in a composable way. So you can think of trying to use XCM to build applications over all of Polkadot. And privacy, because privacy is going to be a core part of all these applications, we want to make sure that privacy can work across XCM. So it's not just that you have to come to our specific chain, but you can send messages through XCM that give you privacy and can leverage privacy applications. And so this is really the core principle about Manta. It's that we're building this privacy infrastructure, and you come and you bring your programmability. So you're building your applications, you ask, okay, I need this part to be private, I need this part to be private, and then you come to Manta for that. And we bring that to you, and we bring it across the entire Polkadot ecosystem. So where are we so far? So past few weeks, we launched testnet v2, already received 135,000 private transactions. This is extremely great, right? This is all the different people over a few weeks just using the testnet, using our application, and are already doing this. And also 20,000 private wallet downloads, ZKP wallet downloads. We think we can scale this even more in the next testnet release coming in very soon. So we're very optimistic about this. Yeah, so we have a really great team, and we're really focused on scaling. We always hiring aggressively, and so if you'd like to join us, we're always Manta Network on any social media, and we're really hiring for a lot of engineers, marketing, business, everything. So yeah, thank you for your time.